All right, so we do have a YouTube channel, and you could check it out if you want to see some previous lesson recordings. But let's begin with the icebreakers now. So the first icebreaker question we have is, what's your favorite school subject, and do you play any instruments? Now, personally, my favorite school subject is probably anything related to science, and I do not play any instruments at the moment, but I have once played piano before. Joshua, what about you? Do you have a favorite school subject or an instrument?
Favorite school subject is probably game theory. If you don't know what it is, that's kind of like economics, but it's like math and economics together. That is definitely my favorite class. Well, my other favorite class is this neat class called existentialism and absurd. It's basically philosophy. It's really interesting. And for instrument, yes, I currently play the piano. I don't know what else to say about it. So how about you guys? Anyone want to share?
Oh, nice, math. I also like math, but math is difficult a lot of times. Yes, science. Science, do you have any specific part of science that you like? Personally, I really like physics and computer science. Well, computer science could also be math, depends on how you count it. Oh, nice. English. English is very, very, very interesting. Economics, nice. And social. I'm studying APE macroeconomics right now at school, which is basically a college level macroeconomics course. I'm studying about banks and the tax system. Oh, nice. Another English. Yes, English is very useful right now because it is a commonly used language across the world. Wait, Joshua, you said you guys have game theory at your school?
Yeah, it's
That is interesting.
technically like a post AP math course, but
Yeah, I didn't know you would have that at high school.
yeah, we have a lot of we also I took in multivariable last year. We have a lot of capstone courses.
Yeah, we don't have that. I had to go to a community college to do multivariable.
I mean, they're not
Yes,
fun.
yes. More English and math. Yes, math is fun. Math is difficult. Math is useful. Same thing for English. It's useful and it's pretty fun. Social, nice. I also like social sciences. I personally studied a lot of world history and US history. But yeah, what about instruments? Do any of you play any musical instruments? It doesn't have to be like seriously, but you could just be something you have played once or twice before. Yes, instruments, it just depends on if you have time or resources to study an instrument. I personally gave up studying instruments because I don't have the time anymore. But yeah, for some others, it will be because they couldn't get access to instruments. Yeah, there are some problems with instruments, but oh, nice, guitar and piano. Yes, I used to play the piano too, and the guitar is always a nice instrument to play. Well, I do not know what tabla is. Okay, is that an instrument that's from Nepal? Oh, nice. I might actually search that up. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Oh, nice. It's like a drum. Yeah, that's very interesting. I have not seen one of those before. Oh, nice. Guitar, yes. A lot of people like the guitar. Oh, more guitars, yes. Guitars are a fun instrument to play. You can play anywhere.
Yeah, I'd say guitar over piano because
And
guitar is kind
piano,
of
you
portable.
cannot carry it anywhere.
Yeah, bro, good luck.
It's huge.
Like bring a piano wherever you go. Honestly, if I had a choice to redo which instrument I play, it will probably be violin. Like
Oh, interesting.
like strings, like it's portable. That's the best part about it. It's not heavy either. So
Yes. Oh, nice. Yeah, guitar, you have to learn how to play that, but
I mean, guitar is fine too. I kind of like the violin sound more.
yes, if you could get your
You should
hands
play
on a
the
guitar,
cello. The cello is superior to the violin.
Cello.
it's bigger.
It sounds better. Like
Eh,
even if I mess up, it still sounds good.
Nice. So you play the cello?
Yeah, I play the cello.
Yes.
It's more fun.
All right. I think we have spent enough time with this question. Let's move to the next question. What is your favorite animal? This is a pretty basic question, but yeah, just answer if you have any animals that you really like, or you think it's really cute, or you think it's really cool. Personally, I wouldn't have a favorite animal. I think all animals are equally cool. Oh, nice, cats,
But
puppy.
some are more equal than others.
Yes, Animal Farm. Cat and puppies. Yes, nice. Cat and dog. There's a fight between whether a cat is better or a dog is better. Personally, I think they both are pretty nice. Panda. Yes, pandas are pretty interesting too. They are pretty. Pandas are not that endangered anymore either, which is good. Dogs. Seems like more people like dogs right now. Do you have a favorite animal, Joshua?
Yeah, a hurricane falcon.
That's kind of specific.
Oh, it's a falcon, but like it's like really fast. It can go like 200 miles an hour with
Yes,
dives.
I hope it's not an endangered species of falcon.
It's not endangered.
A lot of those are endangered because of
Yeah.
habitat destruction. Oh, nice. More puppies and dogs. Puppies, but not dogs. Well, I guess, yeah, some dogs are kind of scary. It depends on which species of dog it is. Well, okay, technically, all dogs are of the same species. So, which specific type of dog? Like, do you know that? Like, I think all species of dog, they're all part of like gray wolf family. I think I'm not too sure on that. Yes, but dogs seems to be the majority here. We can move on to the next question now, I think. Well, do you have a favorite movie? Now, if it's a, let's see. Personally, I do not have a favorite movie either, but what about you guys? Do you think, do you have a favorite movie, Joshua?
Good question. My favorite movie would be.
I guess in terms of genre, I like science fiction movies.
I definitely like sci-fi and action too.
Yes. Oh, nice. Your
really-
favorite animal is dinosaurs. I used to read this like 400-page book that detailed all the different species of animals of dinosaurs that we have currently discovered, and it was quite fascinating. Muna Madan, I do not know which movie that is, but it probably would be an interesting movie. Minions, yes, Minions are always good. Do you have a favorite Minion movie? Nice. Mulan, yes. Mulan is one of those classic Disney cartoon movies. They made a real person like real like action like remake, but that one is not that popular. 2012, yes, I've watched 2012 before. It is a very interesting disaster film. Probably one of my favorite disaster films so far. Secret Superstar. I'm not that big on movies, so I also don't know which one that is, but I'm sure it's a fun movie. Rampage. Do any of guys does any of you guys know these movies? Okay, I guess we have spent enough time on these questions too. Let's move on to the lessons. Thank you guys for participating. In the icebreakers, it's a good way to get started. All right. I think this is the last icebreaker. So we will be starting with science right now. Today, the science group is going to present cellular respiration, I think. Yes. Oh, cellular processes, sorry.
I will just be talking about some cellular processes in general.
All right, you guys can start.
Okay, so today for science, First, we're going to be talking about mitosis. So mitosis was actually discovered by a German biologist called Walter Fleming in 1882. And the process of mitosis is essentially when a cell separates into two identical cells. So every new cell will have the same exact function, DNA, and genetic code. And the original cell that was copied from is called the mother cell, and the two copied cells are called the daughter cells. So mitosis is actually, this process is seen in the skin, muscle, and blood, and there are 4 stages of mitosis. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Next slide.
Also, you can talk a little bit slower if you want to.
Yeah, okay, sure. So the first phase is prophase, which you can see in the GIF on the right. And so in prophase, the nucleus basically remains and the chromosomes condense. So you can basically see them they thicken. And the second phase is metaphase. So during metaphase, the chromosomes line up into the middle of the cell and the nucleus disassembles. The third phase is anaphase, and the chromosomes move away to opposite sides and they begin to move with spindles, which are fibers that help the chromosomes move. And the fourth phase is telophase, where a new nucleus is forming on both sides and surrounding the chromosomes. So next slide. The fifth technical stage is cytokinesis, and it's the actual splitting of the cell, where it splits the cytoplasm, which is the liquid inside the cell, which is the final cutoff to making 2 daughter cells. And it only occurs after the 4 PMAT stages occurred in the beginning. And so essentially, why is this process important for development and growth? Because it's always happening in our human body. When our cells constantly die, they need to be replaced, and they help us grow, heal wounds, and replace damaged cells.
Also, just to clarify, so mitosis is the process by which a cell splits into more cells, and that's the primary way the cells in our bodies reproduce and replicate themselves, because cells do die both intentionally and by accidents. So they need to replenish themselves through mitosis. And what Jasmine has just went over is the process through which mitosis happens, so exactly how a cell splits itself.
Is Cohen here? I don't think so. Okay, anyways, for cellular transport is essentially the movement of materials across the cell membranes. And there's 2 types, passive, which requires energy, and active transport that doesn't require energy. Passive transport is simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. So basically small unchanged molecules pass through the membrane and the substances move down to their concentration gradient. So active transport moves substances against their concentration gradients, and their energy sources are the chemical energy stored in ATP or the energy stored in an ion gradient, which you can see in the 2 pictures.
Meiosis is a type of cell division which produces 4 daughter cells. Each of these cells consists of half the number of chromosomes present in this present cell as in the production of the gametes and plant spores. Meiosis is divided into 5 steps, and the first is prophase, metaphase, metaphase, and the first telophase.
And quickly, just to clarify, previously the science group went over mitosis, which is in a process by which a cell splits into 2 cells. Meiosis is basically the same process, but instead of splitting into 2 cells, it does this twice and splits into 4 cells. Each cell contains half of the DNA. This is used for animal reproduction.
So next we'll be going over cellular respiration. And the goal of cellular respiration is to create ATP, which is basically energy that is used in other reactions in the body. And the image shows like an overview of the cellular respiration process. So the first phase or step of cellular respiration is glycolysis. And in glycolysis, glucose is broken down to create 2 pyruvate, 2 ATP, and 2 NADH molecules. And this process takes place in the cytoplasm, and no oxygen is needed in glycolysis. And next is link. So link takes the products of glycolysis and it converts them into the reactants of the next step of cellular respiration. So the pyruvate from glycolysis is turned into acetyl-CoA, which is used in the next step. And next is the Krebs cycle, which is also known as the citric acid cycle. And the Krebs cycle is a series of reactions which creates NAD and FAD, which are needed in oxidative phosphorylation, which is the following step of cellular respiration. And this cycle takes place 2 times for each molecule of glucose. And the Krebs cycle creates 2 ATP. And next is oxidative phosphorylation. So the first part of this process is the electron transport chain, where NAD and FAD release hydrogen atoms, which split into hydrogen ions and electrons. And these electrons are passed onto the electron carriers, which are the blue things in the image on the right. And they're embedded in the inner mitochondrial membrane. So the electrons travel along the electron transport chain, and these carriers pump hydrogen ions from the matrix, which is the inside of the mitochondria, into the inner membrane. And last is chemiosmosis, which is part of oxidative phosphorylation. And here the hydrogen ions flow back into the matrix through the ATP synthase. And the ATP synthase converts ADP to ATP. And at the end of the electron transport chain, the electrons are passed on to oxygen, which is called the final electron acceptor. And oxygen combines with electrons and hydrogen ions to form water. So the result of oxidative phosphorylation is ATP and water.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about cellular respiration and photosynthesis together. So the equation for photosynthesis is the opposite of cellular respiration. And so the reactants in one process would be the products in the other process. So for example, cellular respiration requires oxygen, while photosynthesis releases oxygen. And so both of these processes help to sustain life on Earth, and both are also important parts of the Earth's carbon cycle. So the cycling of carbon through Earth in the atmosphere, since cellular respiration produces carbon dioxide and photosynthesis uses carbon dioxide. Okay, so about chloroplast before we start talking about photosynthesis. So photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplast, which is an organelle in plant cells. And we also talked a bit about this in our first lesson on cells. So chloroplasts are not found in animal cells. And chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, which is a light-absorbing pigment. And this is also the pigment that gives plants their green color. And there are 2 stages of photosynthesis. So the first stage is light-dependent reactions, and the second stage is light-independent reactions, and also known as the Kelvin cycle. So I won't be going too into depth about these cycles, but here's kind of a general overview of the photosynthesis process. So starting with the light-dependent section. So chloroplasts, using chlorophyll, they capture solar energy, and solar energy is converted into chemical energy. And in this stage, water is converted to oxygen that is released as a byproduct. And in the second phase, which is the light independent part, the previously produced chemical energy is used to convert carbon dioxide into sugar molecules, or glucose specifically. And to sum up photosynthesis, you can say that the energy from the sun, carbon dioxide, and water are used together to make oxygen and glucose. Okay, so here is a short video to sum up what just discussed.
It all starts with the sun. Energy from the sun reaches the chloroplasts of a plant, and by taking in water and carbon dioxide, the chloroplast will convert energy from the sun into energy locked in the bonds of glucose. Oxygen is also released as a byproduct. This process is called photosynthesis. The mitochondria take the products of photosynthesis, which are glucose and oxygen, and break the bonds of glucose to harvest lots of ATP in a process called aerobic respiration. The products of respiration are the reactants of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water. The goal of respiration is to make ATP, and ultimately, the energy to make ATP came from the sun. So you could argue that all life on Earth, including you and me, are solar powered. Thanks for watching this episode of
Okay, so that's all from the science group this week, and thank you for listening, and I'll be passing it over to the pop culture group now.
Okay, yes. So to briefly summarize what the science group has just covered, ATP is basically it stands for adenosine triphosphate. It is the way cells store energy. Through cell respiration, cells create aerobic respiration. I mean, cells create ATP from glucose using oxygen. And when they need energy, they basically break one of ATP's bonds, which releases the energy to the cells. We humans get glucose to produce ATPs by eating food, specifically carbohydrates such as rice or bread. However, plants get ATPs through a process called photosynthesis, in which they use sunlight to turn carbon dioxide and water into glucose. Please ask in the chat if you have any questions, and thank you, science group, for doing the lesson. So can somebody from pop culture share screen and continue?
All right, sure. I can share. Give me a
Okay, thank
second.
you.
Yeah. All right. Can you guys see?
Yes, we can see.
All right. So for this week, we'll be talking about movies. All right. So first of all, what are movies? So movies are just a work of visual art that encourages ideas, stories, perceptions, feelings, etc. And so in the early films, like the 1900s, films were basically just stationary shots from different angles that were just put together to make a complete scene. And then in later films, we can see that like music and color was added, and there were also like higher quality editing cameras. So yeah, we can get better content. And then there are also like many different types of films, including like action movies, there's adventure, comedy, drama, horror, and many more. Yeah, so the first movie that I'm gonna be covering is Harry Potter. So Harry Potter is obviously based on the Harry Potter novel written by the famous author J.K. Rowling, and it basically just talks about a boy named Harry Potter who goes to Hogwarts, which is a school for wizards. And the Harry Potter consists of 8 total films, and it was very successful as it was also the 4th highest grossing film. That's making $7.7 billion.
So next are the Minion movies. And so the minions are small, yellow, pill-shaped creatures which have existed since the beginning of time. And Gru is the master of the minions. And in the Minion series, there are 6 movies so far. And I believe there's another one coming out in 2024. And some of the themes in the Minion series are good over evil, family, and community. And here's a video with some like clips from the Minion movie.
Is it muted?
Oh, can you hear now?
Nope, but I think it's fine.
You
Everybody
need to
knows what
share
it's
your
about.
computer audio when you share
Yeah.
screen.
Oh, wait.
You
give me a
either
sec.
need to put the volume really high or share with computer audio. That
No, you
would
need to
Oh.
share with computer audio. I don't. Even if you put the volume high, it won't. I don't think it will show.
Okay.
Just
Alright,
like
give me a
reshare
sec.
it and share with computer audio.
Yeah, that's the way
Alright.
to do it.
Alright. Can you guys hear it?
Yes, but I'm not
But you're
seeing
not
the
sharing
screen.
screen this time.
Oh, my
This
bad.
time you're only sharing
My bad,
audio.
I don't even know you can share audio without sharing screen. I did not even
Yes.
know that was possible.
Wait, that's kind of crazy. Alright, hold on. Yeah, wait, does it work now?
Yes, now I can see the screen.
Alright, cool.
Can you play the audio? Oh boy. Nope.
Now there's no audio. You know what? It's fine.
Bro.
Everybody
Yeah, it's fine.
knows what minions are.
Yeah, like the
yo.
sound they make, it's not like they're comprehensible anyways.
Yeah, just imagine they're making incomprehensible noises.
Like, don't they speak Spanish?
No, it's not Spanish. I think it was like
Sure.
the language was created using like a variety of actual languages. They were
Oh,
basically mixed together.
I see.
But yeah, in like the United States, like studying how to make films is a big, like it's a big area in college. But yeah, here a lot of people spend many years in college studying how to make movies appealing to a variety of people. And in the case of Minions, it is obviously very successful because everybody ended up loving the design of the Minions.
Next we're gonna go over Shrek. It's like a Disney produced fairy tale story, and there are currently 4 movies out. I believe there are like 2 like special edition ones too. And it's kind of like a classic that a lot of people know about. The first movie is 1 hour and 29 minutes, and the like preview is it takes place in like a swamp, and Shrek, the main character, is an ogre who is suddenly invaded by a bunch of like fairy tale characters from like fairy tale stories like the gingerbread man, which maybe you guys have heard of. And they were like banished from their kingdom by Lord Farquaad, which is like the bad guy of the story. And then they go on like an adventure to save their home. And then like Shrek kind of like falls in love in the middle. But it's like a comedy story that also like teaches a lot of kids like small lessons in life. So it's like a really fun watch, and it's like a classic among people of all age. And then there's the photo, and then there's like a sort of like a trailer type thing of the first movie.
So one of the reasons why Shrek is like a classic is also because, as you could see in the trailer, the CGI quality of the original movie was not bad, but it was kind of like one of the examples of what early CGIs look like.
Yeah, if you watch like the more recent movies, you can see how like the film quality and like art and stuff gets like progressively better. It's kind of interesting, to be
Yeah,
honest. Like
CGI stands for computer generated image something, I forgot.
yeah,
So basically,
but it improves so much. It's really impressive.
yeah, so yeah, this is like an example of what early CGI looks like.
अरे बॉस आज का कलेक्शन मेरा बहुत अच्छा गया क्या बात कर रहा है दिखा दिखा और सर ये देखिए आईफोन
Thank you everybody for coming. Yes, again, please ask in the chat if you have any questions. And we will also appreciate it if you could provide some feedbacks on the difficulty of each group's lessons. But yes, thank you all for coming. And we will continue next week. See you next week, and yeah, have a great day.
All right, bye everyone. See ya. Bye. Bye.